Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome students to the online lecture of digital logic design. In this lecture we will be continuing the K-maps topic. We will be discussing the four variable K-maps and the other related things. In the previous lecture we started with the K-map for the two variable and three variable systems. Now we will be discussing with the four variable K-maps and some other related topics. Now we will be discussing or starting with the four variable K-map. As you know that the number of adjacent scales that we could combine are in the power of 2. It could be either 2 scales we could combine, either 4, either 8 or either 16. When we are using the four variable K-map, then we could combine a maximum of 16 squares, which will give them, or we will say that the function is equal to 1. Each separate min term in a four variable system, represents four literals. So if we combine two adjacent squares, and then they will give us the result or the minimized form in terms of three literals. If we combine four adjacent squares, then they will be representing a term which is expressed in two literals, and similarly if we have eight adjacent squares, then they will be combinedly representing a minimized term in form of one literal. And in this way we are usually express the K-map in gray code. First two are the same as we discussed in the three map variable. Now for the fourth variable, these min terms are a little bit different, but if you follow the gray code pattern, you will understand them. These are the M12, 13, 15 and 14. This is M8, 9, 11 and 10. These terms are arranged according to the gray code pattern. Again, in any two adjacent square, the one variable is at least different. For example, if you look at this, this is wx, yz are the four variables here. Wx here is 0, 0 and yz is also 0, 0. So its all value is equal to 0, 0, 0, 0. While in this case we have 0001. Similarly, all the rows and the columns are expressing certain variable. The rows here are represented by two input variables w and x, while the column here are expressed in terms of y and z. Again, you can see that here when we are representing it in a four variable form, the next term after the 0, 1 term is the 1, 1, not the 1, 0 usual term, and this is the 1, 0 here. Now in this example, we have a four variable K-map which is represented by this min terms. First we need to do is we need to put 1 in all these min terms. So we have put 1 in 0, 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 12, 13 and 14. We had just placed the 1 in the first step, and then what we need to do is we need to combine the maximum possible squares that are possible. The maximum possible square for a 4 input term is that we have a combination of 16 adjacent ones, which is not possible because you can see that there are some empty spaces here. There are zeros here, so we cannot combine them. So to represent the next largest square, we need to add or consider 8 adjacent ones. So how we can consider the 8 adjacent to 1? We can, if you look at this, all the ones, if we are able to combine, say, these blocks. Now these are a combination of 8 adjacent ones. Now we need to express this larger box in a form of the minimized expression. If you look at the values w and x here, w and x are representing the rows here, while y and z are representing the columns here. You can see that both the values of w and x are changing here because w is X is changing here 0 1 and W is changing here as 0 to 1. So we have to ignore this one. And from the column 1, if you see that the value of Y is constant, which is 0, while the Z is changing here. So the final result of this whole is Y complement. So this whole 8 ones adjacent box is represented by the Y complement term. Now we will have to look the other combinations of 1. We can see that there is no other combination of 8 boxes that could be present for this system. So we need to consider the number of 4 boxes now, 4 adjacent 1. As we know that this M2 is adjacent to this M0, similarly M6 is adjacent to 4. For the 4 variable system, M4 is also adjacent to M12 and M10 is adjacent to M8. In addition to that, there is another adjacency in this map, that is that M0 is also adjacent to M9 and M1 is also adjacent to M9. M3 is adjacent to M11 and M2 is adjacent to M10. Because they are in when the 4 variable K map, they are not just combined in the rounding off, they are also rounded off from up top to bottom approach too. So they are combined in form, you can say a circular form now. With this row, the first row is adjacent to the last one. You can easily calculate that why they are adjacent if you calculate the values or write the values here. For example, its value is 0 0 0 0 means 4 0 here, and this is 1 0 0 0. So they are adjacent because the only one bit are changing between them. So now we need to consider that how we could add other squares after this larger 8 square of 8 or 8 boxes. We could also, you can see that we could combine this with this one and this one because they are combined or adjacent in circular condition. So they are considered the adjacent. So we can have a single box which is representing the 4 terms here, 2 here and 2 here. And combined, if we have to represent them in form of the min terms, you can say because the value of W remains the same, we will keep it. X is changing, X we will ignore the X here. Similarly, the Y is changing here, it's 0 here and 1 here, while Z is a constant here. So we will represent it as W complement Z complement. Now we will see is there any other possibility of 4, because we could combine this one with this one. These two could combine, but if we are able to combine them using in a form of a 4 instead of 2 adjacent boxes, then that will give a more minimized term. So we can see that we can combine like this one, and we could combine this one like this one. So now both of them combinedly they are form 4 adjacent ones, and 4 adjacent one can now be represented in 2 little terms as X into Z complement. So in this way, the minimized expression for this function, which was represented in min terms, is represented as. Now this is another example of the four variable K map. If you see that this example is quite similar to the one which we discussed for a 3 variable system. In this we are given a Boolean function which is not represented in a min term form because there is a D missing here. Similarly, A is missing here and D is also missing here. So first what we need to do is we need to convert it into a min term form so that we could accurately place the ones in the desired min terms boxes. If you look at this one, this expression here, for this expression you can write it as 0 0 0. Then the D term is missing here. It means that term must be changing. That's why its minimized term is here if we add 2 adjacent terms, because a 3 adjacent or 3 little term means that actually they will be representing 2 adjacent boxes of 1 in the K maps. So we need to find this one. If you see that it's 00 here, and we need to identify the C would also be 0, so C is also 0 here. But if you look at D is changing here, so we will write the ones here and here. we will write 2 ones here. Similarly, for all the other expression, we will do the similar process and expand. We will also expand this term into two adjacent boxes of 1. This there will be no further boxes because this is complete min terms. It involves all the variables. So it will represent only a single one box, and again this will represent the two adjacent ones. So in this way we have placed all the ones by solving these ones, and once we have placed all the ones, then we need to solve this whole k map or minimize this thing. Because as we know that all the edges are also considered adjacent, first we need to see that if there is any combination of 8 adjacent ones, which is not possible in this case because we don't even have the 8 ones here. So what we do is we then try to find out the 4 combinations. Say if you look at this one and this expression, then both of them combine to form a two literal term. Both of them will be combining to form two literal term, and what term that will be, we can easily see that the variable which is changing, we will ignore it. As for example, in this case the a is changing here, it's 0 here and 1 here, so we will take the b complement here. And similarly from the next one, we have the c common here because the d is changing, so b complement into the c complement. We will get the first expression here as this one, b complement into c complement from this box. Then we need to find other adjacent squares of 4 adjacent squares if possible. If you observe closely, yes, there are an other possibility, because if you see all the edges, this edge, this edge, this one, and this one, if you combine all the edges, they will form adjacent squares of 4. So we also have a 4 here from the edges one. If you combine them, you can see that for the first one, the variable which is changing here is a is again changing, so we will not consider the a, it's b complement here. And for the next one here is that c is changing, so we will be taking the d complement, so b complement into the d complement will be the final minimized term here. Now we are only left with this one here. We cannot add it into a block of 4. So what maximum we could do is that we can add it and with an adjacent square to form a block of 2. Now we have a block of 2. We can easily minimize it. The value that is changing here is of the b, so the final result is here a complement into c into d complement. So this is the final minimized term. Kindly do note that because we have done these points because these two were considered together, so their combination is represented in this way, and similarly its combination represented in this way, so they can be further combined to give us this result, this one and this one. And now we will be discussing another important term which is known as the prime implicants. For the prime implicants, first what we need to do is we need to represent the function in form of the minterms. We make sure that all the minterms are represented and there are no redundancy, meaning that if a minterm is covered, we will not write a 1 again here. Prime implicant is defined as it is a product term obtained by combining the maximum possible number of adjacent squares in a map. If a minterm is in a square is covered by only one prime implicant, then that prime implicant is known as the essential prime implicant. So we will be discussing this topic through a example, because a simple prime implicant means that it can be represented by combining the maximum possible number of adjacent squares. Say we in a 4 variable k map, if we could represent any different min terms in a form of combination of 8, and then that would be the maximum possible number of scale that we can represent it. Similarly, there could be a more than one prime implicant that could be present in a map. The prime implicant of a function can be obtained from the map by combining all the possible maximum numbers of scales, meaning that a single one on map represents a prime implicant if it is not adjacent to any other one. Or you can say that two adjacent ones form a prime implicant, provided that they are not within a group of four adjacent scales. Four adjacent ones form a prime implicant if they are not within a group of eight adjacent scale, and similarly so on. The essential prime implicants can be found by looking at each scale marked with 1 and the checking with the prime implicants that cover it. If say it is covered by only a single prime implicant, then that will be known as the essential prime implicant. Say we have an example here. This is represented. This example is represented here as a 4 variable system. First, what we do is we need to put the 1 in all the values here, all the min terms here. So this is the first diagram in which we have just found the essential prime implicants here. We have ignored a few ones here which are present here as 1 here. Similarly, we have a 1 here, and similarly we have a 1 here. We just ignore it for purpose. Because if you look at the remaining ones, then you can see that there are 2 scales of 4. It means you can combine a larger scale which has 4 adjacent ones. If you see this is the 1 which is found. This is the essential prime implicant. Why it is essential prime implicant? Because any other box of 4 is not you can say overlapping with it, and while from the edges you can also calculate the other one. So these also will form a 4 adjacent scale, and you can see that between this one and this one there is not a single common term is common between these two. So these two are known as the prime implicants. So it means that when we will be minimizing the expression, the minimizing result of this scale and this scale will always remain the same. If you can see that in all the minimizing term, we will have this term BD and B complement D complement. But there are all other prime implicants too that are present in this map too. They are not the essential one, but they are present because they are overlapping. Because if you consider that all the ones, if you mention them all the ones, then we can see that there is a 1 here in which there is a combination of 4 here. Similarly, we can have a combination of 4 here too. Similarly, we can also express this one and this one here, and in the last if we combine this one. So there are many possible ways by which we can combine the other prime implicants in this map. But when we have the essential, first we calculate the essential prime implicants, and we write these implicants as their minimized values as this in the final function. And then what we need to do is we need to determine all the other values. Suppose there are many other possibilities because we could add this one in form of this row, or we could add these ones separately. There are many possibilities of it, that how we combine the number of ones to form the 4, because all of them are a combination of 4 adjacent scales. So each of them will be representing you can say a term which is of 2 literals. So it will not make much difference in terms of the circuit wise, but it will give us 2 or 3 different results. All these results would be the same in terms of the circuit wise, but their expression may be different because you can combine this whole once but you can also combine this one separate with this one. So there are a number of ways in which you can combine them. Say for example, if you consider this, we have the two prime implicants, we write it as bdn plus b complement d complement. Then we see the other one. Say if you combine all the ones here, they will give you the value as the minimized value as a into b complement. So we will get a into b complement here. This will give us a one term here, and similarly you can add any other term with it. There are some other possibilities of the terms here, like say if you add this square of 4, combine these square of 4, this term will give us a value of say CD, but because we have already included this one here, so we will be more interested in like having this one here along with the this one here, or we can combine, if we can combine this one, because these are already represented by the essential prime implicant. So the remaining thing is here, there is only this term here. So what we do, if we combine all the terms here, it will give us this C D here. Similarly, if we consider these prime implicants as the next one, we could consider them as before, and then we could form an other two combination. One is this one, same, you can say like this, and the other one that we could represent is these fours. So we could also represent this because these ones are already added in the essential one. So we could add, these were the remaining, and we could add them as this one. So this will give us the AD term, which is expressed here as this one. So in this way, you can also compute all the other expressions too. So the overall thing, if you see that when you derive the expression or the minimized expression for this function using the K-map thing, the essential prime implicants remains the same for all the combination. This one, and this one. These will remain the same. The next two terms will vary depending upon how you pick the number of ones, adjacent ones. So they will not make much difference in the circuit wise, because if you see that all of them are represented in form of two literals. So the end result will be the same, but you may not get a unique expression. So in fact, all the four results here are correct. They are just four different ways of how you connect the different way. So we have also seen that from this example that if you solve the minimized any given Boolean function through the K-map, you may always not end up in a unique expression. But probably the gate level implementation of that would remain the same. The number of gates that you would require for that implementation will remain the same. Now we will try to solve another related example, which is the product of sum simplification. As you have known that in the last lecture, what we did was we used the De Morgan's law to minimize any given Boolean expression, or to express any expression in terms of max term instead of the min terms. And we know that any given function that the min terms correspond to the 1 in the output of the function, while the 0 corresponds to the max term. And if we just if we calculate the complement of that functions, what we do is we take the zeros from the table. And if we again take that complement of that function, or taking the 0 one, we will be converting our system from min term to the max term, or you can say from the sum of product term to the product of the sum terms. We will discuss it through a small example. Say In this example, our function is represented as this one. So in the first step, what we do is we just place the 1 in all the values here. We place all the ones here. Now, what we do here is we first try to minimize this expression. By minimizing, how we do it is we just use the adjacent squares. We combine the adjacent squares, and by combining the adjacent squares, we reach this expression. You can see that there are many ones that you could combine here. This one and this one. Similarly, you can see that all the edges are also so combined, and then is the this one. So if you combine all them, they will give you this expression. Now what we want to do is we want to take the complement process. We want to see the complement process, because in the table we have seen that that the term where the zeros are present, if we combine all the min terms, that they will represent the complement of the function. So now what we do is that instead of the ones, we will look at the zeros that are present here if we want to have calculate the complement or the minimized expression for the complement one. So there are many zeros here. You can combine in many ways. For example, say the first one is that if you combine this set of zeros of 4 adjacent zeros here, then you can also combine this one here, and then you can also combine this with this. Again, there are many possibilities how you can combine the number of zeros. So if you just combine the number of zeros here, you will get this expression. Instead of the ones, if we are taking, we want to minimize the complement function, then what we do is we look at the zeros instead of the ones in the map, and then we try to find the adjacent zeros instead of the adjacent ones, and then we apply the same procedure to minimize the thing. If we have a square of say 4 adjacent zeros, then that adjacent zeros will be represented by 2 literal terms. If we have a 0 at 2 adjacent boxes, then they will be representing a term of 3 literals. So in this way we will be representing this thing. So now the minimized expression for the this Boolean function is represented as this one. If we just apply the De Morgan's law, or you can take the reverse again, the complement of this, we will end up at this expression. And now if you remember this expression, it is now, you can say that it is in a form of a max term representation in terms of a instead of a min term representation. So you could consider just as you are representing the table in the form of max term instead of the min terms. So we just need to, if we want to take the complement of any given function, we will consider the zeros instead of the ones and combine them in the same manner which we did for the ones, and that will give us the complement of the function. And if you want to again, if you take again the complement of the function, then that will give you the result in the product of sum form, in which you will have this kind of expression. And you can again expand this kind of expression to a separate max term like m0, m1 and m2. So for the last slide, the function that we did was, if you express it in a form of a logic or circuit diagram form, then you could see that we could represent it as sum of product form is represented in a this way. We are considering here that each input is also available in its complemented form. So the sum of product is represented here as this one. While if you are representing it as a product of sum form, then we would be representing it as this way. So both are you can say a two-level implementation, and which are very easy to achieve, and both represent the same function. We first took the complement of this one, then if you again took the complement, we will get into the max term form, which is represented as this one. For the same thing, for the min terms, as we have told you that you will look at the only the ones in the table, while for the max term, what you do is you will look at the zeros that are present in the table, and you can then appropriately design the K map for each of them. If you want to minimize the say in terms of the complement one, then you will look at the zeros. Say consider an example of one say this function is represented here as this term and this term. If you want to combine them, or say you want to have minimize these terms, because this is a three variable system, so the final result of combination of these two will be in a form of say two literals. So combining these two will give you a result of this, and combining this and this will give you a result of this. In the same one, if you want to combine it in terms of the zeros, or you want to express it in terms of the max terms, then what you do is that you need to have this one here. This complement will be defined as this one, and this one, so this will also be 0 here. So if you minimize this term, this will give you, because only the value of y is changing here, so it's x complement into z complement, which is represented here as this one. And if you combine these here, the x, it will be represented as x into z. So in this way, this complement operation will be represented as here. Again, if you take the complement again of this f function, that f complement, again you take, it will give you back the original function. So it will be of this one, because if you take the complement, it will give you this equation. And now you can see that this is now in the product of sum form. So in this way, you take a function or the complement of a function using the K map thing. We have also another condition which is known as the don't care condition. If you remember the BCD table, in the BCD table, if you remember, there was certain combination of binary values which were not used. Actually, these not used values are very important when we are using the simplification process, because what we do is that we combine these values as up to our use. Say, because these values are either 0 or 1, we don't care about them. We only need to have a value of between 0 to 9. So what we do is that for the rest of these condition, we have the option to put them any of the value equal to 0 or 1. I will explain it through an example. Suppose we have a function which is represented in these min terms, a 4 variable system which is represented in these min terms, and we have a don't care term which are defined as this one. So in 3 locations we have a don't care term. So if we express the term as here, say this one, and this one, actually the don't care term. So first we express the don't care term as x here. Now when we are minimizing this K map, what we do is we can utilize this x as either 1 or 0 to minimize our circuit, because this x value is either 1 or 0, it doesn't affect the value of the output or the circuit. So we can utilize it to minimize our circuit if it is possible. So if we have combined the number of ones here, and we have 2 ones here, that would represent the function. But we could also minimize the system or more in terms that if you use that these x are 1 instead of, let's say, this, consider it as 1, consider it as 1. Now if you consider both of them as 1, then we could also combine these 4 blocks together of 1, adjacent 1. These would form adjacent 1. So if we combine them, then on a 4 variable system, this expression would result into a 2 variable output or two literals, two literal term. Similarly, all these ones are already combined here. This expression is already representing by the two literal things. So we have the final expression here as this one. We didn't use this don't care term because we didn't have to utilize it, because if we put a say one here, then that would add an extra expression to it, and that would have increased our circuit or the number of terms or literals here. And other possibilities that instead of using this and this don't care term, we utilize this don't care term, which we have ignored in the last part. Say we put a 1 here, then what we can do is we can add a scales of adjacent like this one here, and also the same one here too. So one expression is from this one minimized expression, and another is from this square blocks. So again, this will result in this. Both of them results are the same, and you can easily see that they both expression, if you represent in a circuit diagram either in the product of sum form or sum of product form, both will result in the same number of gates. And you can also apply this method to the product of sum form or the complement function which we have discussed, because if you are considering, say you want to minimize the complement function, then you will be considering 0, and when you will be considering 0, then you can add this x to be make it a 0 if you consider that it could be minimizing, it could add a minimizing effect. So you could take this value equal to the 0 if you like for the complement only. Kindly do read these pages from the book.